Research isn't something that's only done by boffins and eggheads with clipboards. It's really about improving practice and making our patients' lives better. We have a team here who will be happy to support you and can help guide you through step by step. We want research to become part of the day-to-day work that all of our teams do across the Trust. Not just an add-on, but something that guides our practice and improves our care.
Staff contribute so much to research, and the key thing is you can contribute different amounts. Some people will get involved very much in writing up papers and so forth, whereas others will just recruit patients. And that is if you recruit one patient to a research project, that's a huge contribution. And one of the key things about clinicians that often they overlook is that their patients often trust them. That is worth its weight in gold. So if a clinician asks a patient if they want to get involved in research, they're much more likely to say yes compared to admin or research staff asking them. So clinicians have a really important part to play. The organisation as a whole, there's quite a lot of evidence that NHS trusts that are very heavily involved in research have better clinical outcomes. And I think that's because you attract staff and you keep staff motivated and interested and up to date with new interventions and new treatments, because in effect, research is the thing that develops new treatments. And finally, humanity. Research benefits everybody.
As a clinician, my practice is informed by evidence-based guidelines, and I think it's really important to be involved in shaping those guidelines of the future. I've been principal investigator for a couple of studies, which has been a good introduction to how studies are set up, the process of recruitment and liaising with the main study site. The research team has provided solid support and guidance around this, and I was able to do this alongside my clinical work.
Without research, there would be no medicine. Research is the golden thread which informs us. What research does is it empowers us to make a difference in a logical manner and help deliver what I call the fundamental issue, which is basically the Hippocratic Oath, which is do no harm. A lot of people try a lot of things, and getting it right when you try many things is always a distinct possibility. But to get things right in an organized way, knowing what the potential blind spots are, what can do harm, is an achievement by itself. That is what research brings into medicine.
I'm a Trust Research Fellow, and as chair of the Memory Assessment Service Forum, I make sure research is a standing item on our agenda so that the staff can be updated with progress and also newer trials for recruitment. In my clinical practice, we discuss research with most of our patients, and we work collaboratively with the research department when people put themselves forward as participants. Our Memory Service Information Pack has a section on research and how people can get in touch with the research department or the Joint Dementia Research Campaign. This is also prominent and reiterated at our post-diagnostic visits. Research is vitally important. It has holistic benefits for patients now and patients in the future. We wouldn't have the various cures if it wasn't for research. It is also vital to find out what works, but also what doesn't work.
This is me, a cup of coffee, a laptop and numerous piles of documents. Probably the picture you expected of a researcher slaving away at his desk. I became a researcher after about 17 years of experience being in various patient supporting roles in mental health and learning disabilities. This was initially very daunting for me, as healthcare research is often seen as a corner of medicine that is heavily steeped in academia, test tubes and time in laboratories, with various scientists working laboriously over data, and I'm really not an academic. While healthcare research does involve these areas, there is so much more to healthcare research than meets the eye. Participating in research can be very straightforward and often involves meeting with a researcher like me and answering some questions. The patient is always supported through this process. To me, this is the best part of what I do, meeting the people we are doing this research for.
I'm a trauma survivor and I've lived with severe recurrent mental illness all of my life. I've had various diagnoses, but have struggled mostly with psychosis and severe depression, often involving hospital stays or home treatment. I've participated in research several times. I was worried to begin with because it's not easy to talk to people about hearing voices because of the bad reactions I've had in the past. But I didn't need to be frightened at all, as the researcher always immediately put me at ease and was completely accepting of everything I said. They weren't trying to assess me or judge me in any way, so it was really easy to share with them. They were extremely friendly and respectful. I feel really strongly that this is a valuable thing to offer because the more research is done into actual lived experiences, the more services can be tailored to meet our needs and appropriate help given. I feel if my input can help even only one other fellow sufferer, then it is worthwhile. I was very nervous about confidentiality because I didn't want my feelings aired publicly because of my work. But the way the research is handled is completely confidential, and I was told that repeatedly, and it's always been true. Also, the data is kept safe and secure, which is extremely reassuring. The researcher always showed respect and concern for my well-being, and there was plenty of space for me to ask questions.
Health research connects people. It empowers our patients through choice and participation. It enables access to new and innovative treatments and ultimately engages people like you and me in shaping the choice and types of treatment we want to receive. Through my work, I feel a deep sense of connection and equality with these meetings with patients. I offer participation in research, and our patients bring their unique lived experience, which helps us shape the answers to the research question. It's this lived experience that is so fundamentally important to what we do.
Taking part in research has really helped me feel that something positive can come from a seemingly negative experience. It's actually helped me on my journey, as I feel listened to and validated.
Patients are the reason why I have a job. I wake up daily and tell myself that. And researching for them is religion in a way. And I think that's very important. But also, I think patients can be great teachers, and nowhere else can they be better teachers than in research.
I've been able to become embedded in networks, which then provide more opportunities for our clinicians, our children and young people to be involved in research. I've also been able to spend some time spreading the word within our trust systems and getting to know those clinicians who are also interested in growing research opportunities. I'm also slowly but surely growing my own specific area of interest, which is the use of evidence-based lifestyle medicine approaches and the natural environment in CAMHS. It feels like an exciting time, and I'm really hoping I'll be able to secure some further funding to continue and to build on this role. Cornwall and the South West Peninsula is a thriving area of innovation, and there is plenty of research going on. We have the support of the NIHR Applied Research Collaboration and the South West Academic Health Science Network. We can also link with Plymouth and Exeter universities, and we have leading centres such as the European Centre for Environment and Human Health right on our doorstep. Personally, I find that being engaged with research balances my clinical work really nicely. It ensures my thinking is constantly being challenged, and it enables me to nurture a certain amount of creativity and innovation. I want to see us involving young people and families more in mental health research in Cornwall, as it may help them to feel more engaged, and it has been shown to improve outcomes.
I've been a nurse for 25 years, and there are things that I did 25 years ago that I wouldn't dream of doing now. And that's not because I was bad or not good at my job, but because we now have evidence that there are better ways to do things. And we wouldn't do that, we wouldn't know that without research.
Anything and everything has a process, but the process in the end is very rewarding. And I can hand on heart say there is nothing more rewarding in my work, in addition to the clinical work, research.
I think the research team do a really good job in putting people at ease, making sure they understand the research project, and also the fact that they can withdraw their consent at any time without any repercussion. It also means they get more social interaction with other people when they may have just been at home, alone and lonely.
I would like to encourage clinicians to dip a toe or take a flying leap into the world of research, as it is likely to be rewarding. It may open doors to new and exciting opportunities, and it will certainly be very refreshing.
Our patients are the experts in their own lives. It's their support that fuels research. It's this interaction that makes my job so worthwhile and motivates me and my colleagues to always be the best we can be for our patients and ensure that research is a meaningful and fulfilling experience for our patients and participants.
I would heartily recommend taking part in research and would certainly want to do it again in the future. It is definitely one of the most important things I have done.
So research, it's a win-win situation. It's a win for the patients, it's a win for staff, it's a win for the trust, and it's a win for humanity. That's a win-win situation. Isn't that good news?